I'm Brenda. Welcome back to my quilt room. Recently, I've been viewing some videos of people who have been showing their sewing and crafting spaces. So today, I thought that I would spend a little time and show you around my quilting room. Now, I'm using a bedroom that was vacated by our daughter and made us empty nesters. And my room is approximately 13 feet by 9 feet. So if you have a good sized bedroom or a bedroom about that size, as I show you around the room, I'm hoping that you'll get some ideas of things that you can do that will maybe give you some extra storage or inspire you to do something different in your sewing room. So we'll just start around the room and I'll show you how we have it set up. Over here to the side, these are store-bought shelving units. And so what I've done was I've cleaned up my fabric. This is fabric that is larger than 2.5 inches. It's a little bit bigger than quarter yards, and I've got it sorted by color. These are like fall fabrics, Christmas fabrics, pink and red fabrics. And then I have a little bit of open storage on the bottom for other things that I've started. And this is just really handy. It's a great way for me to be able to see what I already have. And I have bought some really nice little storage boxes when they were on clearance in some of your 5 and dime dollar stores. And I have antique vintage hankies. I have buttons. There are baskets on the top that I have trims in. I keep my sewing books and my magazines in this middle shelf, and I do try periodically to go through these every year or so and see if there's anything that maybe somebody else that I sew with or who's learning to sew could use, that maybe I've used it to its fullness and I don't need it anymore. I try to purge periodically. And then over here I have more storage for other colors of fabric, and I have a cutting machine for applique pieces. The boxes in the bottom are all 2.5 inch strips of fabric stacked up, and they're sorted all by color so that if I'm going to make a scrappy or a string quilt, I can quickly go there and get those fabrics. I have my thread up on the wall to give me even more space in the room. Back here, I do have a full-size cutting board and another little ironing board, so that when I don't have anything on top of my craft workspace here, that board will fit up here where I can do cutting of bigger size yardage of fabric. The board itself is just plywood, and I purchased it from someone who was making these to fit over the top of an ironing board. And my wonderful husband suggested to me that we could attach this to these storage cubes that you can buy at your Lowe's or Home Depot, even the dollar store. They're fairly easy to put together, and he has screwed and anchored them together. And so they come, you can buy the little storage bins, and so those are sorted with other projects, and some of them are empty. And then I had room for another unit here on the side, and I have a Samaritan's Purse project in there that I'm going to start in the evening working on when we're just relaxing and watching television. But this has been extremely useful and handy, and maybe you have a handyman or you know someone who would be able to make a table like this for you. This is just a quilted piece of material. and I put elastic in it so that I could stretch it over the top of my board. If you can see here, I've covered my board with aluminum foil. So when you're using steam, this just keeps the board from getting moisture in it and becoming wet. And then when this gets dirty, all I have to do is take it off and throw it in the washing machine and dry it and pop it right back on. I have a couple of hooks here where I keep my most often used rulers. They're handy for me to grab when I'm working up here. I chose to leave the back of this open. Now this has all kinds of squares that are pre-cut into 2.5, 2-inch, 3-inch, 4-inch, 5-inch, all the way down to 1 inch to 1.5 inches. I try to keep as much as I can organized so that it becomes easily available to me when I need it. And if it's more open where I can see it, I'm more likely to use it. These, if you haven't discovered these little lint rollers, these are fabulous. So if you want to look, this is what I'm currently working on, this project of, I forget the name of the star. It's a pattern that Donna Jordan from Jordan Fabrics came up with. And so I'm probably only about halfway finished. I'll probably make about 25 more blocks to go with it. And then I'm going to put sashing and cornerstones between my blocks here so that it doesn't look quite so busy. But the design wall, this is simply drywall, and behind it, this is just baby flannel. And I picked up yardage of it. This flannel has probably been pinned up to this wall for probably 10 years or more, and it has worked great. These blocks are up here. They're not pinned. They're not pinned at all. They just stick right to the flannel. Now, I will say that as I start to put this together and it becomes heavier, when I lay it up here, sometimes I do have to put a few straight pins in there, but for the most part, everything just sticks right to this. And these are wonderful when it gets really, full of threads, to just roll over and kind of periodically clean those off. On the floor, I have some of these little they're like foamy puzzle pieces, and you can get those in your automotive department at probably a home improvement store or Walmart, and just put them together like a puzzle piece, and that really helps on your tiredness of your feet as you stand and cut a lot. Now, if you'll look up toward the ceiling, my husband for me put up here this big curtain rod with clips on it, and that works out wonderful, especially for when we're filming our videos, to display and to show you things that I'm working on, and that has really been useful. Over here, I have my sewing machine, my irons. I have some more open storage. To this used to be an old desk that we put 2 of these 3-cube towers under, and he bolted this all together so that it wouldn't come apart. And then most recently we purchased this one. A friend of mine gave me this serger machine. I've never had a serger, so I'm anxious to learn how to use this. I've sorted out my jelly rolls. My fat quarters are over here, and then these are some empty storage that I currently have. I like sitting up high up here because then I can see out the window and I can see who's coming or who's going. I have my second little machine over here. I love this little machine. It is I think it's a 3337, I believe. I don't see the number on it, but anyway, it is lightweight and it is so easy for me to take when we're working on a project. I currently hand quilt once a week with a group in the next town over, and that has just been a lifesaver to be able to take this great sewing little machine with me. It's very light and easy to carry. On this side of the room, this is sort of my makeshift office space. I do some work for church. I have a project, a ministry that I'm kind of over, where we feed the community. And so I do that work and some other things for church over here. I have my photos of my family, of the ladies that I quilt with, my quilting buddies. This is my big screen where I can watch my quilting videos and programs when I'm in here working. And it works out great. And then, of course, I have a closet. We're not going to open those doors because some things just need to remain behind the closed door. I have over here, these are just nails on the wall with my most basic rulers. When I need a large ruler, I can just come over here and pull one of these off the wall. These are hand quilting stencils. And I have all this storage there in the front. So hopefully this will give you some ideas of things that you can do with your small space. The shelving units, the cubicles, making multiple uses out of one area has just been so handy. So I hope that you are inspired or that you have gotten an idea of something that you can do in your crafting and sewing space. If you like my videos, I would appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up and subscribe. So until next time, we'll see ya.